morning and welcome to the second episode of Way Up, the morning show, brought to you by Army Institute of Management and Technology. Memories and nostalgic moments are the ones that we stick to eventually, and this is a great platform to live the very moments of the alumnus, and also an opportunity for the alumnus to relive their uptopic world by sharing their college memories and also dig deep into the way their professional life transmits the very spirit of their domain. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome among us the alumni of the institution, Ms. Chavi Tandon of MBA 03 batch 2006 to 2008. Sales Director at Momentus Digital Media Pvt Limited, ma'am is a digital sales specialist with 12 years of experience in Indian digital advertising sales industry. She does not only specialize in digital sales but is also an adroit and maestro in API-based customized solution selling, cross-functional collaboration and mobile performance sales to name a few. Prior to her working experience with Momentus Digital Media Pvt Limited, she has also worked as a regional sales manager of SVG Media and also held a pivotal position of zonal head digital sales south and west of ABB Group. Our anomaly has established herself as successful individual in the field of digital marketing, and we could not be any prouder. It is indeed our great honor to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, to start with, I would like to ask you what made you choose AIMT and why, you left all other business schools and you opted for AIMT.
That was a long, long back ago, and I mean, when I filled in the application for AIMT was fairly new. There was just two batches before the batch that I joined in. So I had a couple of people who were already there, the MBA 1 and 2 batch, who I knew, and everybody was really excited about how this college was shaping up back then. And it made absolute sense to be a part of it because you were in the national capital. The opportunities lying ahead were wonderful ahead. I mean, Delhi is the hub for all sorts of opportunities that you would like to pick on. And of course, it falling under IP University was a very big major pull because it's it's a very prestigious university. So those are a couple of things why I went ahead with it. Yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. I mean, that would really help the other people who will be joining the AIMT for next years,
Yeah.
and they will really look forward to you. I mean, we really have a alumni base of people like you, and you are really doing well in your professional and
Thank
hopefully in
you.
your personal life as well, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. So, ma'am, to move on with, I have another question for you. How have the
Yeah.
skills you learned, both inside and outside the classroom, translated to your current role? I mean, how you have attached your experience in AIMT to the profession you are working in?
Right. So, AIMT, I mean, way back then, AIMT was a much different place from what it is right now. I mean, in terms of the facilities that you all have, the amount of people you have, connectivity. So, I'm talking 2006 when we were a part of, when we had just joined this institute, and there was nothing in Greater Noida. I mean, there was absolutely nothing. So to get to Noida was about like a 1.5 hour process for us from college to walk down to the nearest bus stop. And then in terms of facilities, of course, the college was still coming up, the infrastructure was still coming up. The girls and boys hostel was the same at that point of time. And we had a BBA batch also running at that time. A BCA batch also running. So there's a lot of things that, we learned back then because when you stay in an environment which is so, which gives you very limited facilities, you learn to make the most of what you have. And I think the next most important thing that we learned out there was to, help and support each other because we had nothing absolutely back then. There was no cafeteria, hardly any hospitals back then. So all you had was your friends and your peers to depend on everything. So I think that was something that all of us learned to get, to be bound together and be there for each other no matter what. That's something very important that we learned back then.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, and what was the, to move on with the next question, How have you utilized the alumni network, both as a student as now as an alumnus of AIM?
So I'll tell you. A very, very good question actually. I think everybody should make use of the alumni network. When I had joined college, there was just one batch who had passed out before us. The second batch was still in college with us. So there were just two batches above us, who could help with any kind of job references or internships. So the first job that I landed in at Naukri.com at InfoEdge was through the alumni network. The batch before us was picked by Naukri.com as a part of the campus placement. They did not come during our time, I think because they had certain, hiring freeze or something. But then, of course, alumni were very, very helpful. And I landed up in my first job through the alumni network. So I'd say it's a very important thing to, network with your alumni, stay in touch, see who can help you. All of them will be very, very glad to help. I can assure you that.
Yeah, it's really great to have people, connected with our alumni base. Like we are studying in right now in AIMT, and we feel that people are like you are very high position in big firms. So we really feel proud, and we also want to be attached with the alumni base that we have. So
Right.
definitely we, yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, so now to move on ahead towards your professional life, I would like to ask
Right.
that as we are well aware of the fact that during the pandemic, the digital
Yeah.
marketing was one field which had their
Yeah.
heads neutral to the game and business and also spiked in their performance. So, how long you think the digital marketing will take to become the first choice over the traditional practices that we have for marketing?
So see, honestly, I've spent over 13 years now in this digital, sales industry, and I've seen it grow across in these past years. Yeah, of course, the past 1.5 year has been very different compared to the previous years. The preference is changing. So it always would have been television. People were always more keen on television as a medium of marketing, and then came your newspapers, and digital was always a third medium if you compare it in terms of the advertising revenue. So if a company was spending 10 lakhs on television in marketing, they'd probably spend 5 on newspapers and magazine, and probably just about 2 3 lakhs on digital. It's changing now drastically, I think, but it will still take some time till for digital to become the preferred medium over both the other mediums. The reason being that there's still a lot of population in India who relies on television. So people may have smartphones, but I mean, there are a lot of people who are not like you and me, who may not use smartphones for interactions or, making purchases. Whereas television is it's got a wider reach. It's a more mass medium to reach out to people. So I think it will still take some time for digital to become the number one medium. But it's growing, yes, definitely.
I wanted to ask that if, now that we know that pandemic has occurred and it has taken a boom. So do you really think it is the pandemic that has increased the digital marketing into the market, or it would have been normal in normal scenario it would have been the same also?
No, no, of course, this pandemic has affected the digital spend majorly. So no denying on that. I mean, I think in a normal course, it would have taken a lot of more years. But because of this pandemic, and I mean, it's unfortunate that such a thing had to cause this, but it's this is one of the greater reasons that yes, spends on digital are increasing, and they will keep increasing now. So see, I mean, I think we all can see the shift within our houses, or probably within the places that we stay at. So a lot of people, if you think through and if you speak to people, they've stopped taking newspapers now, and I don't think people will take them back now because they rely more on news on their phones or probably television. So print as an industry has been badly hit because of this. How magazine sales have hardly there are hardly any magazine sales happening. Magazine sales were majorly dependent on your travels. People would buy them at the railway stations or airports. Travel is negligible right now. So yes, so pandemic has definitely majorly affected the media, the revenues on digital. It's going to keep changing. So because this is not going to go down now, it will just increase from here.
Okay, ma'am. And one more thing that yes, digital marketing is coming into the picture, and traditional marketing practices are reducing. So that doesn't mean, I mean, the number of employees that a company needs right now are decreasing. So doesn't it going towards like a unemployment era where marketing will not be required so much?
No, I think it's wrong to say that number of employees required will be lesser. I think right now I keep saying that to a lot of other peers and colleagues also. It's about making wise choices. So there are more than enough jobs in the market. Of course, there is a little slur happening. A lot of companies are not hiring, but I think you have to act. You have to probably pick a little smartly right now. So if for example, if you run after the bigger companies right now, they will not hire because they already have enough employees who they have to still figure what to make them do. But there's a very, very large job opportunity lying in the startup sector. And if you start picking on the number of startups that have come up in the past 1.5, 2 years, and especially during the past 1 year, there's this huge opportunity in terms of job I'm seeing lying in the startup sector. So it's just that you have to pick a little smartly and wisely what industry you are looking to pick at and what roles you're looking to pick at.
Okay, ma'am. That's really great. I mean, that definitely will help some people that who were in a dilemma that are
Right.
marketing and digital marketing, what we should take, that we should go for specifically digital marketing or we should study the marketing as usual they used to study in MBA. So
Right.
that is the reason we had that question. So, ma'am, moving ahead, I would like to ask you one more question: that what are the social media management tools that you feel are future of digital marketing?
So see, I mean, if you generally talk about digital marketing as a as a tool for an advertiser, it is very, very large. There's a lot of things that come under digital. So there's Google, and it's the various parts under Google. So that's one very big form. There's Facebook and Instagram ads. That's another very big part. But then these are two major things that come under digital. Other than this, there's another plethora of things that comes under digital marketing. When it comes to social, there's one part. See, Google is going. I mean, Google and Facebook will probably be one of the largest always in terms of first pick for an advertiser. But then there are multiple other options which people pick from, even on the digital platform. So do not. I just suggest do not restrict yourself to any particular tool under digital. It's good to have a knowledge of all other forms of tools that come under digital marketing because everything is growing right now.
When I went through your profile on LinkedIn, I was so amazed that your highlight state that you also deal in pro bono consulting. And on behalf of the enthusiast digital marketers, I would like to ask that what type of pro bono work can be done for the society?
So see, I mean, smaller things can start from everywhere that you all are at. I mean, right now, of course, as students, what you'll be looking to do is something very different. It's important for you all at your stage that you are in to, probably focus on your career path. It is a challenging year. While there are multiple job opportunities coming in various sectors, there are also job cuts happening in a lot of places. People, there are enough jobs, but like I said, you have to pick smartly. So at your stage where you all are at, I think the best you can do is first focus on your career path. In terms of helping the society, there's always a chance that you will get. I mean, you can always pick smaller organizations who need help. I mean, there are multiple. So I'll just give you an example. I used to take some weekly sessions for some very small colleges around my house here for students who were doing BBA. So just out of because those students were looking at somebody who could come and give them a little talk where it comes to regular marketing and what's happening in the corporate life. So just give them a little. They needed a little bit of help on communications, make them play certain team games. So those kind of things are always available. That you could. There's always a chance, always an opportunity to pick things and do for the society if you like.
Okay, ma'am. So, what type of partner organization should we target in order to get the most out of pro bono service for the community? Like, if someone is really looking forward.
See, right now, certain industries who need a lot of help One is the healthcare industry, one is the education segment. Non-profits, of course, all the time. They are definitely looking for people all the time who can help in various ways. So I think three major places where you can help are these.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, you have more than 13 years of experience now. I mean, it's been really great to have you. So, just one thing I would like to ask, that there must be something which have hit your mind or a project that you have worked on. So, can you just share with us the most successful project that you have worked on? And I mean, as a leader or as under the guidance of someone?
So I think the most successful, no, I will slightly twist the question here. So most successful and challenging at the same time, I think has been the current role that I am in. So this is the first time I got into working for a startup, because before this I was always working for larger organizations where processes are set and things are streamlined in every way. But where it comes to, this is the first time that I was a part of startup. So being a part of the startup was very challenging, because we had to start from zero. I mean, we hired the whole team, we set the processes, we got the company registered. So those kind of things, they're very challenging, but I think I'll call it more successful because we've built it from zero. And everything that we do today, every output that we get is a result of the effort that we put in sometime.
Really great that you have worked. I mean, the current role is the most challenging and the role that you are liking the most, because as you told that you are working for a startup and you will always be
Right,
the part of the startup successful journey. And
right, right,
definitely your hard work will make it successful someday, and to
right,
an extent that where everyone will be knowing about you and I mean, the organization you are associated with.
right.
So yes, ma'am. So right now, to wind up, not take so much of your time, I would like to just ask one last question. That what is your favorite memory of AIMT? I mean, there must be something you were in your. I mean, after your graduation, you came into an MBA. You were focused about your career, but that you have still in your memory, ma'am.
Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them offline memories also, which I shouldn't be sharing on camera with everybody. But yeah, I think one of the best times that we all had in MBA was again because of the reason, I think, because there was hardly anything external that we could do staying where we are. I mean, that point of time there was nothing. AIMT was placed, and the other societies close by were still being constructed. There was nothing outside the gate, and it was very unsafe also. And so the only building was functional was the hostel, was a girls and boys hostel together in the same building. There was a common dining area. There was no internet except the library. So we had no Wi-Fi, no LANs. Phones back then weren't these kind of smartphones, So we had no mails, nothing on the phone. So I think one of the best memories was that the kind of time that we spent with each other, because till when we were studying, we had assignments and all that, but everything else that we did, everything was together, as people. So we spent nights sitting in the dining hall, all of us together, the whole class, common dining room between the boys and the girls' hostels. So we would just spend the entire night sitting talking, because, we had no external gadgets actually to spend any time on. And I think that was one of the best things that we did. I think that made us bond also much larger than probably, how we interact with people in today's life. So I think the best times was that we would finish our day, come back to the hostel. There was not much to do. You couldn't go out. So we would just walk around the whole campus in groups of 10s and 15s, and we've done that for 2 full years. I don't know how we never got bored doing that.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, any piece of advice for us, for people who will be watching us? I mean, it will be on a platform where many people will be watching us. So, any piece of advice for the students who are very enthusiastic, I mean, studying in a B school and looking for a career in digital marketing or any other field, ma'am?
So I just suggest that keep all your options open. While it's a challenging time, personally, professionally, academically, for everybody. I mean, it's not the easiest thing. The job market's hit. I understand opportunities are lesser, but just keep all options open. Pick a little wisely. Uh, you know, do not close options on yourself, because it is a challenging time, and it's important to pick something right now which will also sustain. And there are, so read up about what's happening in various industries and pick something that you think is going to sustain for a little longer. Explore opportunities, one thing. Increase your network, very, very important. I think that's something which always helps. Get in touch with alumni. There's a lot of batches now, and see, reach out to people. I'm sure everybody will be very, very happy, and they'll really try to help.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having this conversation with us and helping a lot of batches who will be coming, and also giving some glimpse of the MBA when you studied in AIMT and the 12 years of experience you shared with us. So it was really great having a conversation with you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.